The integrity of our elections is the bedrock of American democracy. This short book delves into the critical issues surrounding election integrity in the United States, examining the challenges of the 2020 election, the proactive measures taken in 2024, and the path forward to ensure fair and transparent elections in the future. The first chapter, the 2020 presidential election unanswered questions and the erosion of trust, analyzes the concerns and controversies surrounding the 2020 election, including statistical anomalies, reports of irregularities, and the integrity of electronic voting systems. It highlights the need for comprehensive election reforms to restore public trust. The second chapter, Fortifying the Vote. The GOP's 2024 election integrity offensive, addressing vulnerabilities and ensuring transparency, explores the proactive steps taken by the Republican Party in 2024 to address potential vulnerabilities and promote transparency. From mobilizing legal resources to training poll watchers and engaging with county judges, the RNC sought to create a culture of accountability and integrity. The third chapter, A Victory Secured: How Election Integrity Measures Safeguarded the 2024 Election, examines the impact of these efforts on the outcome of the 2024 election. It details how the RNC's infrastructure helped to prevent irregularities and ensure a fair vote. Finally, the fourth chapter, The Long Game Sustaining Election Integrity Efforts Beyond 2024, looks ahead to the challenges of sustaining election integrity efforts in the face of evolving threats. It emphasizes the need for financial resources, political will, and a comprehensive approach that includes technology, grassroots partnerships, and common-sense reforms. By staying vigilant and committed to the principles of fair and accurate elections, we can ensure that our democracy remains strong and vibrant for generations to come. The 2020 presidential election was not simply a contest of ideologies, it was a crucible that tested the resilience of American democracy and revealed deep-seated vulnerabilities in our electoral system. While Joe Biden emerged as the victor, the election's aftermath was marred by credible allegations of fraud and irregularities, raising profound questions about the integrity of the process and eroding public trust in the outcome. The statistical anomalies observed in key swing states demand closer scrutiny. Biden's unprecedented performance, exceeding that of even Barack Obama, coupled with a campaign that often appeared subdued, defied conventional political logic. The dramatic shifts in vote counts that occurred after election night, with Trump's substantial leads evaporating as absentee ballots were tallied, raised legitimate concerns about the transparency and accuracy of the vote counting process. Reports of irregularities at polling locations, while often dismissed as isolated incidents, paint a troubling picture of potential vulnerabilities in our electoral system. Allegations of partisan poll workers obstructing Republican observers, improper handling of absentee ballots, and discrepancies in vote tallies cannot be ignored. While these incidents may not have individually altered the outcome of the election, their cumulative effect raises serious doubts about the fairness and impartiality of the process. The security and integrity of electronic voting systems also warrant further investigation. Claims of voting machine vulnerabilities, software glitches, and potential foreign interference cannot be dismissed out of hand. While evidence of widespread manipulation remains elusive, the lack of transparency surrounding these systems fuels suspicion and undermines public confidence. The fact that some voting machines have been shown to be easily hackable should give everyone pause. It is imperative that we address these concerns through comprehensive election reforms, strengthening voter ID laws, enhancing ballot security measures, improving the accuracy of voter rolls, and increasing transparency in the vote counting process are essential steps to restore public trust in our elections. While acknowledging the legitimacy of Biden's victory, we must also remain vigilant in safeguarding the integrity of our electoral system to ensure that every vote is counted accurately and fairly. The future of American democracy depends on it. The 2024 election cycle witnessed an unprecedented emphasis on election integrity, driven by persistent concerns stemming from the 2020 election and beyond. The Republican Party, under new leadership, embarked on a proactive strategy to ensure the fairness and accuracy of the vote, addressing potential vulnerabilities and promoting transparency at every step. The replacement of Ronna McDaniel as a chairman of the Republican National Committee, RNC, with Michael Whatley and the appointment of Laura Trump as co-chair, marked a decisive shift towards prioritizing election integrity. This new leadership recognized the need to aggressively address issues such as outdated voter rolls, inconsistencies in absentee ballot procedures, and concerns about the security of voting machines. One of the most significant steps taken by the new RNC leadership was the mobilization of legal resources. The hiring of over 100 in-house attorneys and the retention of 6,000 attorneys across the country demonstrated a commitment to addressing legal challenges related to voter eligibility, ballot access, and election administration. These legal teams were prepared to challenge instances of non-compliance with state election laws and to advocate for stricter enforcement of existing regulations. Equally important was the recruitment and training of over 100,000 poll watchers. These volunteers were trained to identify and report potential irregularities, such as instances of suspected voter impersonation, improper handling of ballots, and violations of campaign finance laws. Their presence at polling places and counting stations served as a deterrent to fraud and provided an important layer of oversight. The RNC's commitment to rapid response was crucial. Poll watchers were equipped with direct access to attorneys and instructed to immediately report any instances of denial of access, intimidation, or obstruction. Retained attorneys were prepared to seek immediate injunctive relief in state courts to ensure that election officials complied with the law and that poll watchers were granted the access they were entitled to. Furthermore, the RNC proactively engaged with county judges across the country, providing them with information about state election laws and emphasizing the importance of impartial enforcement. This outreach aimed to prevent election officials from selectively applying the law or engaging in partisan practices that could undermine the integrity of the election. The RNC also focused on educating voters about their rights and responsibilities, encouraging them to report any suspected instances of fraud or irregularities to the authorities. By empowering voters to participate in the election integrity process, the RNC sought to create a culture of accountability and transparency that would deter misconduct and ensure that the outcome of the election reflected the true will of the people. The 2024 election will be remembered not only for its outcome, but also for the unprecedented efforts undertaken to ensure its integrity. The Republican Party's proactive measures to prevent fraud, coupled with heightened voter awareness and increased scrutiny of the electoral process, played a decisive role in safeguarding the integrity of the vote and delivering a clear victory for Donald Trump. On Election Day, the effectiveness of the RNC's legal and poll-watching infrastructure was put to the test. Over 300 incidents were reported where poll watchers encountered resistance from election officials and were forced to contact retained attorneys. In each instance, the threat of immediate legal action proved to be a powerful deterrent, as election judges and county officials ultimately relented and granted poll watchers the access they were legally entitled to. The impact of these interventions was profound. By ensuring that poll watchers were able to effectively monitor the election process, the RNC prevented potential irregularities from going unchecked and deterred would-be perpetrators of fraud. As the votes were tallied, it became clear that these efforts had paid off. Donald Trump secured victory in key swing states, ultimately garnering 312 electoral votes and surpassing Kamala Harris in the popular vote by over 2 million. The fraud that had allegedly plagued the 2020 election had been effectively neutralized, paving the way for a legitimate and decisive outcome. Trump's victory was all the more remarkable given the challenges he faced throughout the campaign. He overcame multiple lawfare attacks and even 2 attempted assassinations, demonstrating his resilience and unwavering commitment to the American people. Now, with a clear mandate from the voters, President Trump is working tirelessly to implement the agenda that he was elected to pursue. He is fighting in the courts and in Congress to enact policies that will strengthen the economy, secure the border, and restore American leadership in the world. The 2024 election stands as a testament to the importance of vigilance and proactive measures in protecting the integrity of our democratic institutions. By investing in legal resources, training poll watchers, and empowering voters, we can ensure that every election is fair, accurate, and transparent. The 2024 election marked a significant step forward in the pursuit of election integrity, but it was only the beginning. The challenge now is to sustain and build upon these gains, ensuring that our elections remain fair, accurate, and transparent in the face of evolving threats and tactics. The Republican Party in particular faces critical decisions about how to maintain its election fraud prevention infrastructure and adapt to the ever-changing political landscape. One of the most pressing challenges is the financial burden of maintaining a robust election integrity operation. The costs associated with employing over 100 in-house attorneys, retaining thousands of external counsel, and recruiting and training tens of thousands of poll watchers are substantial. Sustaining this level of investment will require a long-term commitment from donors and party leaders, as well as a strategic approach to resource allocation. Beyond financial resources, political will is equally essential. Maintaining a strong focus on election integrity will require the Republican Party to resist pressure from those who may argue that it is a distraction from other priorities. It will also require the party to stand firm against the inevitable attacks from the left, who will seek to discredit and dismantle election integrity efforts at every turn. In addition to financial and political challenges, the Republican Party must also contend with the ongoing lawfare campaign waged by the Democrat Party. This campaign seeks to undermine election integrity measures through litigation and legislative efforts, often relying on misleading claims and exaggerated fears. The RNC's in-house attorneys will be kept busy defending against these attacks and working to strengthen election laws at the state and local levels. To succeed in the long run, the Republican Party must adopt a comprehensive and multifaceted approach to election integrity. This includes investing in technology, developing and deploying new technologies to improve voter registration accuracy, enhance ballot security, and streamline the vote counting process. Partnering with grassroots organizations, working with local groups to educate voters about their rights and responsibilities, and to mobilize volunteers for election monitoring. Advocating for common-sense reforms, supporting policies that promote voter access while safeguarding against fraud, such as voter ID laws, signature verification, and regular audits of voter rolls. Building broad coalitions, reaching out to individuals and groups from across the political spectrum to build support for election integrity measures. The future of election integrity depends on our willingness to invest in it and fight for it. By staying vigilant, adaptable, and committed to the principles of fair and accurate elections, we can ensure that our democracy remains strong and vibrant for generations to come. Please subscribe to our channel, like this video, and share it with your friends.